This is KGW News at noon.
Well, as we just heard over the past 30 minutes during NBC News coverage, the suspect in Tuesday's New York City subway shooting is in custody this afternoon. His name is Frank James. Police say he shot a gun at least 33 times in a Brooklyn section of the subway yesterday, hitting at least 10 people. All of them, though, all 10 of those people are expected to survive. We also have some local coverage to get to this afternoon. We have an update for starters on a deadly house fire that started early this morning. One person in that house died and another is in critical condition. Devin Haskins has more for us from the Cully neighborhood of Northeast Portland.
Now that the fire is out and the trucks have left, this now becomes a fire investigation scene as fire investigators try to figure out what caused the fire, killing one person inside. The fire starting around 4 o'clock this morning. The home is destroyed. At one point, the fire had fully engulfing the entire house. Firefighters say that 2 people on their way to work tried to help rescue those inside. It's unclear if they were able to reach anyone, but Portland Fire did say that one person was found outside the home. They were taken to the hospital by an ambulance, and they're currently in critical condition. Firefighters describe the inside of the house as hard to navigate, calling it an extreme hoarder situation.
And we want to let the public know that there's resources. City of Portland has resources for anyone experiencing hoarder situations, and that can cause difficulty exiting and entering a home.
We're still trying to learn the names and identities of those victims in this house fire. Fire investigators say they don't know if smoke alarms were present in this house, but one neighbor stressed this is a good reminder to make sure you check yours. In Northeast Portland, I'm Devin Haskins, KGW News.
There was also a huge fuel fire in southern Oregon that broke out overnight near downtown Medford. According to Medford police and Medford Fire, crews have been working to contain runoff from fuel silos there. So early on during this firefight, they did call in heavy foam trucks from the airport nearby to assist. They've asked people to avoid that area altogether, and they've also evacuated people who live within a half mile of that fire. Of course, one of our top stories all this week has been that winter-like weather that we're seeing here in the middle of April. Yesterday, we saw rain. We saw hail, we saw snow, we had those rumbles of thunder mixed in as well. Monday morning, we had measurable April snowfall like we've never seen before in parts of Portland. And just a short while ago, Rod Hill, we had some hail right here in our KGW parking lot. So what do you see coming our way next year?
Next
Dare
year.
we ask?
Oh my goodness. Let's talk about this afternoon. You know, that first clip of video that Drew showed you, that I think was a mix of hail and snow, that was from afternoon rain showers that turned into hail showers that turned into snow. And we could see that similar setup this afternoon. The reason we still have air aloft that's about as cold as it's been going all the way back to Monday. Here's what we have on radar right now behind me. This is going to be scattered precipitation coming through the rest of the day. And you can see the changes in color. So a reminder that the green is absolutely rain, and then the white colors is more of a mixture of snow. So it's still possible this afternoon you will find a mix of some snow showers or hail, and maybe a rumble of thunder in your area. You can see the dark skies over the West Hills right now, 44 out at the airport. And other temperatures, I think everybody's at least holding at 40. Happy Valley, 1,000 feet, 39. But otherwise, it's all 40-something, except for Estacada, where it's 39 degrees. So keep an eye for a mixed of varying pockets of weather this afternoon. Temperatures as high as 48 degrees. Yesterday, we topped out at 47. Drew, again, you could see rain turn to snow in a hurry, but we don't see anything in terms of widespread issues. So that's good news, sir.
All right, let's go back to that snowstorm, though, Rod, on Monday, because there are still streets in Northwest Portland that are closed this afternoon because of downed trees from that snowstorm. We caught up with one couple who was driving on Germantown Road when that snowstorm started, and they wound up stuck in their car for more than 12 hours. Alma McCarty talked to them about spending half the day hanging out in their Toyota Prius.
Snowy conditions caught many off guard on Monday.
This is our camping spot for last night.
But it's possible Michael and Lisa Silk ended up in some of the worst of it.
That was the road that you just saw.
After leaving a friend's house in the West Hills.
This is where we camped
The couple spent 12 hours stuck here on Northwest Germantown Road near Skyline after their Prius slid off the road just after midnight Monday.
In the car in the background. Luckily, we were only going 20 miles an hour, but it just went right into a hillside.
And if we had moved the car, gotten the car out of the ditch, we couldn't go anywhere. I mean, we heard the limbs cracking over our heads and falling, and we had snowballs hitting our roof.
With roads blocked by downed trees, a tow truck couldn't get to them, and neither could Portland police. They said dispatchers told them to stay put.
We didn't want to get stranded outside at 33 degrees with no winter clothes. So yeah, we better stay in the car until we have to get out of the car.
Before noon,
looked like they'd been there overnight.
They got a call from Washington County Sheriff's Office Sergeant Jesse Baker.
They were surrounded by trees and in a lot of snow, but they were okay. They were just couldn't get out.
And says, I will get to you. I will come.
Well,
and we were thinking, no, you will not get to us because there's trees everywhere. But he says, nope, I'm coming.
Along with a PPB officer and a deputy, Sergeant Baker made his way to them despite all the obstacles.
We were going to do everything we could. Even if we had to walk down there and get them, we were going to get them.
We walked up, we heard a chainsaw going, and we knew we were getting closer to someone was up there.
Someone was. It might not be Officer Baker, but someone was a
someone
chainsaw,
was chainsaw.
So that's a good thing.
And as we came around, he said, "Are you the Prius people?" I was like, "Yeah, that's us."
The trek out, just as challenging as the trek in. With the help of a neighbor who had a tractor, they were finally in the clear.
I said, you know what, let's get a picture of this, because for me, I want to remember that, the big group of us.
And all smiles on the other side.
We all look very happy because I think we were all happy that we
out of there.
had a successful thing happen. We survived.
Alma McCarthy.
Of course, you can stay up to date on all of our weather conditions around the region by checking out our website, KGW.com. You can also find updates there on road, school, and business closures, and we'll also give you the latest information on local power outages through our website. Right now, though, we want to check in on some of the local headlines we're tracking here this afternoon, and we start with a suspect involved in an armed robbery near Gresham. That suspect is still on the loose this afternoon. This story started at about 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. Multnomah County deputies responded to a robbery call at the Columbia Gorge outlets in Troutdale. 3 suspects got away in a car. They were heading west on I-84. Deputies chased after them, and at one point, one of the suspects allegedly shot at one of the deputies' cars. So the suspects eventually crashed into another car near Northeast Sandy and 162nd. Police immediately arrested 2 of the suspects, but the third one ran off. So anyone with any information about this is asked to contact the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office. Also in our headlines this afternoon, the murder trial of romance novelist Nancy Crampton Brophy continues today. Crampton Brophy is accused of shooting and killing her husband, Daniel Brophy, in June of 2018. Daniel's son is expected to testify later today. We have a live stream of this trial happening on our website, KGW.com. And one COVID headline to get to this afternoon. Health officials say they are starting to see another uptick in COVID cases, and they point to the BA2 subvariant, which is now the dominant strain of COVID in both Oregon and Washington. OHSU, though, doesn't expect the next wave of cases to be as serious as past spikes because BA2 doesn't seem to be causing as many hospitalizations. And that's a look at some of today's local headlines.